why you shouldn't drink. Lots of reasons why you shouldn't drink. I'm going to take you through a few, but you've got to think about why do you start. I mean, I started because I was quite a shy person, really. Still am in a way. I'm obviously more confident with age and whatnot, but you start off having a few and leads to more, and habit becomes an addiction. I'm going to talk about really why you need to stop drinking, because if you're a heavy drinker, you will start to have some hangovers and some effects, withdrawal effects. And I've just come back on a flight from Paris, from my partner, and there was a woman on there who we both noticed on the way out, who was drinking quite a lot of wine. I could tell she had a problem because, I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober for 5 years now, but I was in her state a few years ago, shaking and uncontrollably, looking very nervous, very red, and very sort of scared, the best way I can put it. Worried. Her partner kept holding her and, trying to comfort her, and she needed more wine. Needed another drink. I'd noticed her hit the bar at the airport, and she had a couple then, but I noticed on the way out she had a couple of bottles of red wine, but just small ones, And when you're a young woman, younger than me, maybe late 30s, and she looked completely trapped by it. And everyone else was getting a plane, and I prefer maybe a jolly old cup of tea, a cup of coffee and biscuit, or whatever I could have. She was just completely out of it. And all she could focus on, I could just tell by looking at her, all she could focus on was getting the next drink, which is what I used to be. Because to me, alcohol completely changed my mindset. Both, mentally, I was a wreck after a few years of it. And it catched up with me very quickly. And it got to the point where I was dependent, I think, probably in my late 20s, early 30s to a point. But it wrecks your life. You can go through the physical things. You've got liver disease, you get heart issues, strokes, heart attacks. You've got various cancers linked to alcohol, suicides. It causes depression. As I said, mental health is a big problem. It causes bloating. It can cause digestive problems. Another big killer with alcohol is pancreatitis. It causes gallbladder problems. It causes kidney issues. And there's more. If you go to research it, you shouldn't drink because it basically ruins your life. But I'm trying to say, you get nothing good out of it. You think you are, because you think it's going to relax you. But it relaxes you in the first instance for a short time. And you might have a bit of a good night out, a good day out in the drink, but the next day you feel rough, don't you? You don't focus well, you don't eat well, you don't sleep well, you don't do anything well. In the end, I couldn't function. This term, functional alcoholic, I've been through it a few times, but on the outside, you think you look all right, but you don't. People notice, You're carrying on a job and looking after your family as best you can, but functioning, are you functioning really? You're functioning to the point of doing the basics in life, but you're not enjoying life. I never enjoyed my time as an alcoholic. For years and years, I struggled. I think I lived in withdrawal for years. It's only the past few years that I've actually got out of that trap. Because I did 8 years sober, that was a good time. Now I've been sober 5.5 years, but this time there's no going back. If I go back now, I'll be dead. It's as simple as that. So you've got to pull yourself together and, live your life well, because there are so many disadvantages to it. And I kind of think of one advantage to it, but we go down that road, we enjoy it. I'm sure because of not just the addicts, I'm sure that it becomes habitual as well. And I've spoken to, and I'm speaking to and talking to a lot of people who want to stop completely. They're not dependent, as in, not going to, like me, I was dependent, I had seizures when I stopped. They're not like that. But they get into this habit of having drinks on the weekend. I've helped quite a lot of people get off it completely. Got quite a good success rate with that. But people will have a week off and feel good again. And they go back on it. And they're at the point where they're knowing they're doing themselves some harm, but they think, oh, I'll be all right, a few days off and then back on again. But any amount of alcohol will cause you problems, physically and mentally. And, you know, people say, well, you can be a social drinker. Maybe so. A lot of social drinkers I knew when I was younger are now very heavy drinkers, or they slip into alcoholism, or they're no longer here. The alcohol-related death figures in the UK are the highest they've ever been. So something's going wrong in society, isn't it? Whether it's because of certain pub chains opening earlier and closing later, I don't know. Whether it's because the pricing policy's wrong, where it's just in our psyche. But you don't see this in Europe as much, you know. Not this binge drinking, not this heavy, crazy, weekend drinking, lunchtime drinking. People are much more calm about it all. There's alcoholics all over the world. But it's not going to do you any good. And you really have to focus on what you want out of life. And we all say, you know, oh God, if you could turn the clock back, you do this, and you can't turn the clock back, you can wind it up again. So my message here is to, you know, get off the drink if you can. I was going to talk about tapering off. It didn't work for me, that. It works for a lot of people. If you're not alcohol dependent, you can't taper off it, but you've got to have a specific reason or a want. It's got to be a desire or an incentive to stop drinking or to cut down. I can't be a social drinker. Alcoholics can never return to having one or two. That's impossible, because that one or two will lead to 1,000 and may lead to hospitalisation and may lead to an early death. So if you're a social drinker and watching this, just keep an eye on things, and if it's starting to creep up a little bit, then beware. But a lot of people that subscribe here are pretty much heavy drinkers or alcoholics or alcoholics in recovery, that sort of thing. And I haven't spoken to many families since I've been doing this last sort of 10 months or so, that haven't been touched by alcohol in a way that either know somebody who's an alcoholic, or they've been arrested for drink drive, or they've been a victim of crime because of alcohol, or there's been domestic violence because of alcohol. I was a policeman in London. A lot of crime has some element of alcohol in it, even just from public order incidents. So, you know, football matches, people get a few beers and get tagged up. Marches, demonstrations, burglars, all this sort of thing. They tend to have a few drinks. Dutch courage, isn't it? You know, feel a bit braver, lose inhibitions. Oh, I'll just go and do that. People do crazy things when they drink. They climb up buildings, they fall off. They go dive into water in York, it's freezing cold. A lot of things happen when you drink. If you keep them to control, fair dues, but beware, it's still doing your body harm. If you want to look after yourself, in a more dangerous society now, because people eat more rubbish. Another thing is, you know, diabetes as well can cause diabetes, alcohol. A lot of people passing away early because of diabetes. Just live a healthy life is the answer. I wish I'd been told that. My leaders, as it were, in my life, maybe friends, family, older friends, always said to me, you shouldn't be worried, you're not touching this top shelf, you're not touching spirits, you're just drinking lager, beer, Guinness. It's mainly water. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. If it contains alcohol, ethanol, then it's going to do you some harm. So be aware. You've got to be aware of it. There's so many reasons to stop drinking. Do some research, contact myself or other people are doing this sort of thing. So I do some one-to-one mentoring for people if you want to know more about it. Drop me a line. There should be a link in the description as well. And if you can think of any advantages, let me know, because I personally can't. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.